Hi guys, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Today, any of you guys who watch any of the 600 videos we've done know what kind of finish this is. Now we just pulled up about 20 minutes ago and Jay looked at it and said, "Oh Dad, that's a tex coat painted over a normal finish." And I looked at it and I just thought it was a dash when I first bid this, and we didn't do the paper wire, other folks did the paper wire. And I said, "How can you tell?" And of course, Jason's also a licensed stucco contractor, a licensed plastering contractor. He has a C35 license for 8-9 years now. Anyway, you can see this one patch right here. This is the original finish, and this is a sprayed-on finish. How do I know that too? Now is I got here and I looked at this piece over here. You see how this is peeling? That is peeling away. There's an 1/8 of an inch right here peeling off. That is a tex coat. Plus I cheated. I went in the back and I saw all the wood. All the wood is sprayed because a tex coat usually has perlite as an aggregate or sand. It has glue, it has an acrylic, it sticks to everything. So the back is full of tex coat over wood surfaces. Anyway, what we're planning to do today is we're going to show you how to match this finish, and what you generally have to do is get all your loose stuff off first, guys. I just happened to see it just now as I'm talking, and once you get all that stuff off, you put your scratch coat on. So what I'll generally do is start from the top, especially with tie-ins, guys. I'm going to get my tie-in real thick and push it in there with a lot of muscle. Why? Because tie-ins have a tendency to fall out. So I'm going to, for an example, just go ahead and scratch everything right now. And when I say scratch everything, Jay and I are gonna pick up the tools and we're gonna put scratch marks in there. Then we're gonna turn right back around and brown it out. So we've done enough scratch coats, so I don't want to show you that here, but I am going to show you this finish because that requires some skill, and I love doing those right there. We're at the stage where we went ahead and spread that out, feather this joint in real quick, a little bit of water, take your scratcher and just scratch it out, guys. Doesn't have to be pretty, but there's another coat going over here. Just like that. That way that second coat adheres in those horizontal lines. I'm waiting for my brother Lou. Hurry up and bring us some damn mud so we can finish this top piece. Okay guys, these folks hired the right people. Although Jay and I both knew it was, the finish was a tex coat, we didn't know we'd have 3 inches right here. Sometimes we get on these jobs and we have to improvise as we get to it. So any areas that have, should be stucco's generally 7/8 of an inch, but we got range in here anywhere between 1 inch to 2 to 3. We just improvise and fill them up as we see it with extra cement, extra luminites, which acts as an accelerator. Anyway, we're going to allow this to set. We may have to go get a little bit more sand. Then we're going to show you how to float this and match this tex coat. That's what it's all about. All right, guys, now for the fun part. When I say fun, I mean it's fun to me. I enjoy doing this stuff. We are using a double coat process, which means it has accelerators in it, and it hardens quick, guys. So you got to know what you're doing if you do this particular stuff here. And now all I'm doing is I'm bringing out the aggregate. What does that mean? That means just bringing the sand out with water. Aggregate could be rock, sand, or anything. How do you guys like this Dr. Seuss pipe? It's all crooked and bent in every which way. It took me more time to do that than to spread this half of this wall. Anyway, what we want to do is we want to bring our original finish, or the new finish, into the original. And when this is the tricky part, guys, and this does take a lot of practice. When your float gets full, that means dip it in water. I kind of flip mine a couple times, get all the water, all the sand out. Now you only have enough time to say, like, okay, I'm gonna feather into the existing, and I can look at it and know when to stop And possibly right now, if I keep hitting that, there's too much cement on here, so I'll get the rest of the water out on the wall itself. Just like that. And this is just giving us the base coat. What is the base coat? Scratch, brown, and then a heavy float finish to match what those guys did when they did that dash, the text coat. So now again, I'm just finalizing it before I throw on a dash finish. And can you guys use a hand hopper? Yes. Can you use a dash brush like I'm about to do? Sure, if you got the time in and you know how to get a perfect soupy mud in order to fling it on, so it's just a tinge heavier than this, but not too much. And you got to account for when they paint it. When they paint this, this has got to match, so got to know what you're doing. Anyway, I'm going to dash this, and I'll show you this little part right here, because I don't want to bore you with the whole thing. If you guys watch what I do, you know I sometimes ramble on and got some quirky things and just talk forever, so I'll save it, do that, and just dash this one area here and then show you the completion so you can see how to match this finish better. All right, guys, what I do now is I take a dash brush. I first put it in a water bucket, then I dump it in this soupy mud. You look at this stuff, guys. Can you see that? That's soup. And yeah, it gets all over you. If you guys hate to get dirty, this is not a job for you. I've done this so often. Okay, I'm going to practice now. All I want is just a hair, guys. I don't want too much, so I'm getting a lot of the stuff off. And you just fling it with your wrist. You can match this with a hand hopper or a dash brush if you know how to do it. And it does take practice. How much practice does old Kirk have? Put it this way, I've done this 10, 12 hours a day for months at a time, where you first start this, at the end of the day, you can't even feel your arm anymore. It feels like a piece of spaghetti. So that's how much time old Kirk has got. And I know how to do this, guys. I've done it on a lot of houses, over and over and over. It just gives you an idea. Why won't I figured I'd show you here, guys, because I don't have to go over my head, and you may be able to see it a wee bit better than if I go over my head there. So when you come to something like this, you know, you still want to just a little tiny bit, guys, a little tiny bit. It takes a lot of practice. And if your mud is too stiff, you can't do it. You got to be real soupy mud, like what we just showed you. That mixer finally turned off. Lou said a minute ago, he said, man, that matches right there. You don't even have to dash it. I said, that's why you're a hod carrier and I'm the plasterer. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish dashing this out. And when I'm done dashing it out, we'll show you the conclusion. Show you guys last tip. Special tools like these guys here, plastering tools. And this guy is pretty important here to clean out all these pipes. You say, why cover them? Why not cover them? Try to, and work at the same time. Anyhow, another tip too, guys. I got a lot of folks that call me. They say, gee, man, I tried to do just like you, and it was too heavy in a lot of spots. Okay, I'm going to intentionally make it a little too heavy. Okay, that's a little too heavy. How do you know? Well, you just look at that and you look at here. Here's what you can do. You don't have to scrape it all off, but just tap it. Tap it very gently, because if you tap it too hard, you loosen both coats, or your first coat or your second coat, depending. So you just tap it just a little bit, guys, if it's too heavy. Right now I'm pretty much on the money, although there is not a patch that's been done by anybody, including myself, that I cannot detect, because that's what I do for a living. Anyway, guys, my name is Kirk, Jason on the camera. We thank you for watching, and as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one. Once again, folks, we thank you for watching, and I really enjoy all your comments.
If you guys like this video, please click the like button down below, and also if you enjoy what we do, subscribe to our channel so we can keep making these videos for you.
My name is Kirk.
And Jay.
We thank you for watching, and from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.